Imagine that you are in your comfiest pajamas, snuggling into your warm bed. You have the most interesting book in one hand and a warm mug of hot chocolate in the other. You doze off quite quickly, falling into a deep, deep sleep. You wake up because of the chirping of the birds. You realize that you are lying in a shaded spot, which is still very hot because of the deserted, hot land which looks like Africa. The ground under you is so dried up that it's subtly cracked. Perhaps because of the constant droughts, you ask yourself. Confused of your location, you suddenly stand up, realizing that you are very hungry and thirsty. You walk with a new purpose in your step, looking for somewhere to get food and water. After wandering for several minutes, confused of what you're looking for, with a confident nod, you decide you're looking for a kitchen. After walking a few minutes towards a promising structure made out of sticks, you find a long line of people that is also constantly walking barefoot. You follow the line in the back and finally come to a big lake that's almost dried up. You watch as the women that are there fill their buckets with dirty water. You're surprised, realizing that you might be in Africa. Following the people back to the camp, you decide you really want food. You ask one of their leaders that has strange markings on their forehead for water and food. They don't understand anything you're saying. Fed up, you reach into your pocket for your phone, but instead you realize that you too now are barefoot and wearing tattered clothes. Your phone is not there. Instead, you only find a piece of garbage. You walk into the hut, angry at your situation, and try to turn on the lights. But there is no lights. You can't find the switch. Realizing that these people have no electricity, you suddenly start to cry, realizing that you have no right to be angry. These people are living in this situation for their entire life. And then you wake up. You ask yourself if you could really live in a situation like that one. I don't know about you, but I certainly could not. Today we are discussing the 7th Sustainable Development Goal of the United Nations, which is affordable and clean energy. 840 million people do not have access to any electricity or energy. 3 billion people rely on inefficient and polluting cooking systems. So you might be wondering, what is the cause of this? Why do these people not have electricity or energy? And why can't we do something to help them? One cause of this is lack of awareness and acknowledgement. Many people, believe it or not, do not know that people are living in these scarce situations. And if some people do, they do not acknowledge it. They do not care about it. They don't realize that they have to do something about it too. They simply do not acknowledge it. Another cause is ignorance. When people do know and they acknowledge it as well, they ignore it. They simply do not care that these people need the basic human rights as much as we do. Another cause is lack of ownership and responsibility. When people do know, they don't ignore it. They don't take ownership of these people or responsibility of these people. They don't regard them as their fellow citizens of the world. Instead, they regard them as people that are very poor and need help. But somehow, their mind does not register that they do need to help them. Many people simply do not take ownership of these people. After filtering through all these tests, there are very few people left that actually do help other people. So it's your turn to be one of those people. You should know that these people that don't have things that you do, it's not their fault. It's your responsibility as a person that has these luxuries to help the other people and help them have a better future. Now let me give some suggestions, which I call big solutions, that people in power can do in order to change the world and make it a better place to live in. One big solution is put a penalty on people that have bigger carbon footprints. This will not only make people aware of what a carbon footprint actually is, it will also help them know that having a big carbon footprint is not very good. By the way, a carbon footprint is basically your negative impact on the environment, and there are many ways of calculating it. So I'll let you figure that out on your own. Another big solution is offer opportunities to young innovators and inventors to find creative solutions for this problem, which is not having clean and affordable energy. Another big solution is improve access to clean electricity and clean cooking services, which will help people actually know where they can get these things to help them live a better life and build a better future for them and their coming generations. Now that I've told you some causes of this problem, which are bad, and some big solutions that people in power can do, let me tell you some organizations which are already helping. UN is definitely one of them, but let me list some others as well. The first one is IRENA, International Renewable Energy Agency. Another one is IMF, the International Monetary Fund, which works to eliminate poverty and increase sustainable economic growth. Another organization is UNESCO, which is a part of the UN. Their aim is contributing to the sustainable development of the world. Now for my simple solutions. Are you boiling a pot of water? Obviously not, because you're watching this video. But when you next do boil a pot of water, cover the pot with a lid, because it reduces the energy used to boil the pot of water by 75%. Another simple solution that you can do is close the lights when you're in a different room. Even if you turn the lights off for a few seconds, you save more energy than the amount of energy it takes to start the light up in the first place. So I'll give you a few seconds now to go turn off the lights that are on in your house. Meanwhile, I'll turn mine off as well. Are you back? Well, I'm glad you did that. Let me tell you another simple solution now. This simple solution is to turn the thermostat or the heaters down in the winter. Instead, use more carpets and wear socks so that you can keep the warmth in your house. Another simple solution I'm telling you now is to use energy efficient light bulbs. And after doing that, also keep all of your electronic devices on the power saving mode so that they save more power and you have to charge them less often, therefore using less electricity. When you next boil water in a kettle, Pour in only the amount you're actually going to use into the kettle. When you add too much, it therefore takes more energy to boil the more water. And when you pour the rest of the water that you don't use down the drain, then you're wasting all that energy that you did not even use, and that's a bit bad. So I hope you learned a lot from this video, and you will implement some of the things I told you. For more videos like this one, please subscribe to our channel Connections to Build and to Build Well.